Hello Twin Flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Today we're gonna take a look at the future, take a little sneak peek of what's going on, what's coming up. I will do a more of a new year reading on the 31st, so it's gonna come out tomorrow. But today I just wanted to do a little sneak peek of what's going on with the twins. One of the questions will be, one of my decks will be to answer what's going on right now, what do we need to know about the energy of the collective, divine feminines, divine masculines, and then I'm going to use after tarot, which is naturally that moment in the future or the outcome, right? And we'll see what is the next big event that's going to happen for each of the twins. And yes, we'll be looking for good news, of course, but you know, it's one of those things where even if it's going to be something that's not going to be feeling or looking very good, this is going to be the focus of, it's going to have ultimately a positive impact on the journey and on personal development. Okay, let's get started with an oracle deck, and today is going to be the Sacred Traveler Oracle. So let's get a card for divine feminines first. We've got two cards. So I'm just jumping straight in, guys, because I don't want it to be a long reading. Have another super crazy busy day today, so yeah, I'm eager to get on with the reading and have a few more readings, personal readings I need to do afterwards. And by the way, just a reminder, yeah, this might not have been a very good idea. Oh, this is actually the fir tree. Got it. If you're interested in a personal reading, do not hesitate to reach out via an email address or through my website, mindfulbamboo.com. So Divine Feminine has got two cards, Joy and Delight. Open your heart to joy. Very fitting for New Year's holidays and just being in that festive mood as we pretty much all are around the globe these days. And taking shelter, the answers are within. This is like the Hermit card in this deck. But also, to me, it's pointing into that Mercury retrograde that we talked about just yesterday, where, and it's interesting because, for example, when we speak about joy and delight, for a lot of people it will be connected with spending time with other people, doing something together, celebrating together, something. This card is talking about solitude and taking shelter. So decide for yourself what it means for you, but to me, as a general message, it's saying that right now the best way to find joy and delight is to find time for yourself, with yourself. Do that self-care, self-reflection, whatever you are naturally guided to do. And that will give you the best joy and delight. You'll be surprised yourself. A lot of us, that's one of the society norms, right? That we think the same way that we feel like somebody's supposed to make us happy. In a similar way, unfortunately, we oftentimes believe that we can only have a good time and really enjoy ourselves if we are with other people. Okay, let's see what we have for the masculines now. Please give us a card for divine masculines. What do we need to know? Miracles. Expect the wonders to emerge. This is the fourth card, really. Stepping forward with the faith that everything is happening for you, not to you, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. That idea. Miracles are about to happen. Also, very much like New Year's night concept, in my opinion, anyway. You know, when we make a wish for the new year, in my culture, there is a very strong, very popular ritual where during, you know, when the clock strikes 12, you're supposed to make that wish and to kind of clink the champagne glasses and have that champagne as a confirmation kind of before the clock strikes the 12th time. Sometimes people also put something on the paper, like their wish, right, or their intention on the paper and burn it. And then they put it in the glass and they drink it. And all of that is also supposed to happen before the 12th strike of the clock. You know, kind of a bit of a challenge, but some people go for it. So maybe I just prompted you with something, guys. Okay, let's see what we have. What do we need to know about the energy of divine feminine right now? We got the Hierophant and the Page of Coins. I'll be interpreting right away because that's how the messages are coming in. So what I'm being drawn to is the vast contrast between these two figures, these two cards. The Page and the Hierophant. This one has lots of light on this figure. In this one, the Hierophant figure is kind of in the dark, with the light behind him. Here, the light is in front of the person. Here, the light is behind them, right? It's also about like, I mean, even the posture is different, right? There's so much going on in these two cards. Also, this is in nature, and this is more of a, not necessarily an urban setting, but you know, something of a town, of a metropolis, that sort of setting. So what I'm getting is that Divine Feminine is finding this new way of balancing the energies out and finding new favorite places, I'm hearing even, right? Or places doesn't have to be the geographical place, but it can also be the energetic place, really, right? Like finding that golden mean, finding where that harmony is between X and Y, A and B, right? And I gave you a few examples already. And then understand in this case, I'm sensing that this is the Divine Feminine in both instances. But they're comparing what was the energy like in each of the cases, or is, right? If it's happening again right now. What did they feel like? What kind of thoughts came up to them when they were in each of these roles, right? So there is that deep analysis with the magnifying glass. And of course, it's very much connected with that energy of taking shelter and experiencing joy in a new way. Okay, let's see what we have for the masculines right now. What's the energy for Divine Masculine Collective? Ace of Cups. And this is Five of Cups, but it's in reverse, so I'm gonna take it like that. Yeah, so working with emotions, right? Miracles, a lot of times what I'm hearing, miracles are just a spin on a situation, right? So you can, it's one of those cases where you can say that a disaster happened or a miracle happened around the same event, right? Or what is a miracle to one person is a disaster to someone else. So it's more about how do you emotionally see it, how, like your emotional lenses, you know, your glasses. How will you see the situation? And that's where we also see this sharp contrast between the Ace of Cups and the Five of Cups in reverse. So masculines are feeling optimistic to, because I'm hearing the heart has healed enough, they're more forthcoming with their heart space, with what their heart desires. There is not as much of a regret and playing it safe, being careful, not wanting to repeat the history again with something negative in the communication, right? This is like leaving that behind and embracing this new faith. Like I said, that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And that there is enough love for everyone on this planet. This is beautiful. Okay, the other question is, so what's the outcome? What is the next big news for Divine Feminines? We're focusing on the positive news, of course. What's the next big news for Divine Feminine Collective? What do we need to know about that? What's coming up in the future? I'm not a big fan of doing let's see the future cards, but this one called for it. Interesting, very curious. We have a few cards here. So we have two major arcanas, the Magician and the Emperor, and we have two minor arcanas, Two of Swords and Five of Swords, which also makes a seven of Swords. There are 7 of Swords here. So the major arcanas to me are kind of different aspects of each other. So to me, it's a very similar energy, I would say, right? But most importantly, this is Divine Feminine that stops overthinking, stops trying to put on a lot of hats and retell the story from different perspective, you know, like sometimes we do that. And divine feminines do not want to waste their energy like that anymore. They are trusting their own discernment a lot more. And as the main outcome, there is, in both of these cards, it's characteristic of them to be by themselves, or kind of to be front and center, to be the center of attention. So that's what divine feminines are embracing. To be the central figure for themselves, to be able to pronounce this for themselves and out loud, that I am this person who can do this cool stuff, right? So this is definitely focusing on the self and certain templates I'm hearing. It's almost like taking notes and drawing templates, because nobody has really done it before, but it's important that that information is captured and it's shared. Do we have a divine masculines coming up? Ooh, big boys. Okay. We have, yeah, it is a fir tree that keeps doing it to me. We have the Devil and Seven of Wands, and we also have Eight of Pentacles. Ooh, yeah, so there is still, there is a temptation to kind of stay in the former ways, and the Seven of Wands in this particular deck is the confrontation, is the conflict, right? Oh, it's even more interesting. What I'm hearing is the spirit is saying that divine masculines oftentimes don't want to face the conflict situation. They want to push it under the rug, or, you know, pretend everything is fine, but they don't really want to deal with it. And they kind of have to now, because whatever they're doing for their career, for their job, they won't be able to do in the same way anymore. And that communication, that new level of transparency or equality will need to be created again. Maybe even in a different way, but it will include the missed part. That's how progress will be available. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave you here, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today for this quick read, and I'll definitely be back with more readings very, very soon. Bye, everyone.